this video, I would like you to ask yourself two questions, or really thought experiments, if you will. The first question being, if you could go back in time, what advice would you give your younger self? This is Speak the Unspeakable, a series focused on suicide prevention through the lens of lived experience. My name is Scott Teichmer. I'm a suicide preventionist and a suicide attempt survivor. So when I ask myself this question, the first thing I think about are the different time periods in my life that I would go back to give myself advice. The first period that comes to mind would be the time leading up to my suicide attempt. But I think it could also be meaningful to pick the time after my attempt. Or even as a child in grade school, when I first began experiencing some significant thought distortions, as well as immense isolation and shame. I think for right now, I will pick the time when I first started having thoughts of suicide, which for me would have been right around my freshman year of high school. So what advice would I give? I would probably start by telling myself that I realize just how much pain you are probably in. I would tell myself that each day you wake up, that you go out into the world, school, everywhere else, that you are just as good a person, just as valuable, and just as important as anyone else you'll meet that day. I would also tell myself that the social anxiety, the fear of being around others, of being seen as inferior, is just your brain's way of trying to protect yourself. And I would tell my younger self to have compassion for that protective part of you that is trying to prevent further painful experiences of shame, of embarrassment, or of rejection. And also to tell that protective part that it's no longer needed. Because you deserve to be around others, and that protective part is actually holding you back and hurting you. It's actually creating a barrier, keeping you from developing that sense of belonging that you so desperately need. I would also tell my younger self that it might not feel like it in this moment, but it's going to be okay. You're going to get through this. I tell myself that these thoughts of suicide are also coming from a protective part of you, and to again compassionately thank that part of you for trying to protect you. Life can be scary and it can be confusing for all of us. But tell that protective part of you that just as you've made it through each and every moment of your past, even the most challenging, even the most painful moments, that this moment too shall pass. That you will live through this moment because you are strong. And that the protection provided by those thoughts are no longer needed. The last thing that I might tell myself is, look at me. I am you. I have lived through every experience, every emotion, every thought, just the same as you. And still, here I am. You have an immense power to heal. It does take time, but you will cherish so many moments along the way, and it will get better. Amidst the feelings of fear and of pain that you are experiencing right now, you will also have so many experiences of love, of connection, of gratitude, and of belonging. I know you doubt you will ever see the age of 20, or 25, or even 30, but here I am. You can do this. I am rooting for you. So give yourself some time to answer this question for yourself. And as you do so, rather than judging yourself, take some time to show some care and compassion for that younger part of you. Speak words to yourself that are soothing and comforting, validating and affirming. And once you have done this, I have a second question for you to ask yourself. And this might take a little more brain power. Now picture yourself in 20 years from now as the best version of what you would like to see in your life. Now ask yourself this. What advice would that future version of you say to yourself right now?
If you like this video, comment, click subscribe, and give a like below. Take a deep breath, now let it out. Roll your shoulders back and hold your head up high. Speak